Late autumn, just before sunrise. Visibility stretched for nearly 100 miles beneath crystal-clear skies. Calm winds. Excellent flying weather. The kind of morning pilots dream about. Across the eastern United States, civilian air traffic moved normally. Commercial flights climbed toward cruising altitude. Cargo aircraft crossed established routes. Everything appeared routine. Hidden beneath that peaceful morning, however, America's integrated air defense network monitored thousands of radar returns every second. At the heart of that network sat NORAD's Eastern Command Center. Hundreds of personnel watched giant digital displays. Nothing unusual. Until exactly 06:17 Eastern Time. One operator frowned. His radar displayed something impossible. An aircraft, flying without identification, without an electronic signature, without any known radar profile, and somehow, already deep inside protected airspace. Technical explanation. Modern military aircraft normally transmit identification information through encrypted systems. Even stealth aircraft leave small radar clues that experienced operators can recognize. This aircraft left almost nothing. It seemed to appear out of nowhere. But then, the object accelerated, far faster than any civilian aircraft. The room instantly shifted from routine monitoring to national emergency. Scene 1: The unknown contact. Narration. Warning lights illuminated every operations console. Large digital maps instantly zoomed toward the unidentified aircraft. Its flight path made no sense. Instead of avoiding military zones, it flew directly toward them. Commanders rapidly gathered around the central display. Nobody spoke. Every second mattered. A colonel leaned forward. Estimate. Another operator answered. If it maintains speed. 22 minutes. Silence. 22 minutes until the aircraft reached one of America's most classified military installations. Pilot dialogue. Intercept squadron leader. Falcon flight standing by. Mission commander. Remain on alert. Do not launch until confirmed. ATC dialogue. NORAD control. Unknown aircraft. This is United States Air Defense. You have entered restricted airspace. Identify yourself immediately. No response. NORAD repeated the call. Still. Silence. Passenger reactions. There were no passengers aboard the unidentified aircraft. Meanwhile, thousands of passengers aboard nearby civilian flights remained completely unaware that one of the largest military responses in decades was quietly beginning around them. Technical explanation. Military controllers first attempt radio communication before launching interceptors. If no response is received, multiple verification systems confirm the target isn't a radar malfunction. Every system agreed. The contact was real. Suspense ending. Then, the aircraft disappeared again. Not because it turned, because radar lost it completely. Scene 2: The failed intercept. Narration. Within minutes, two F-22 fighters roared into the morning sky. Their mission was simple: locate, identify, escort, if necessary, destroy. The Raptors climbed aggressively, supersonic within moments. America's most advanced fighters raced toward empty sky. Pilot dialogue. Falcon 1. Control, visual negative. Falcon 2. My radar has intermittent returns. Falcon 1. It's like chasing a ghost. ATC dialogue. NORAD. Maintain search pattern. Target last observed heading 085. Falcon 1. Negative contact. Technical explanation. Stealth aircraft reduce radar reflections by carefully shaping the airframe and using radar-absorbing materials. Even so, no stealth aircraft is completely invisible. This target behaved differently. It seemed to appear, disappear, then reappear somewhere unexpected. Suspense ending. Suddenly, one pilot saw something, not on radar, through his canopy, a black triangular silhouette. Only for a second. Then, gone. Scene 3: The Locked Vault. Narration. Deep beneath the Pentagon, a security officer unlocked a steel door that hadn't opened in nearly 12 years. Inside sat rows of classified files. Most carried red warning labels. One file had no title, only a faded call sign. Ghost 1. A general slowly picked it up. Dust covered its edges. No one had requested the file. Until today. Dialogue. General Harris. She's our only option. Intelligence Director. We buried that program. General Harris. The enemy didn't. Technical explanation. Some military flight test programs remain classified for decades. Pilots involved often disappear from public records. Even fellow aviators may never know they existed. Suspense ending. Inside the file, a single photograph. A woman wearing a flight helmet, half her face hidden by shadow. Scene 4: The pilot who never existed. Narration. Years earlier, Captain Evelyn Carter had become one of the most gifted experimental pilots in military history. She mastered aircraft that others refused to fly. She completed impossible evaluations. She survived dangerous prototype failures. Then, without explanation, her name vanished. Awards disappeared. Mission records disappeared. Even photographs were removed. Officially, she never existed. Dialogue. Former instructor. She wasn't the fastest. She wasn't the strongest. She was simply impossible to surprise. Technical explanation. Experimental test pilots train for unpredictable aircraft behavior. Their greatest skill isn't flying perfectly. It's solving problems nobody has seen before. Suspense ending. Meanwhile, the unidentified aircraft crossed another defense perimeter. Time was running out. Scene 5: The phone call. Narration. A quiet cabin overlooked distant mountains. Far from military bases. Far from politics. A woman repaired an old propeller engine. Her phone rang. One sentence changed everything. They're back. She stopped working, closed her toolbox, looked toward the sky. She already knew who they were. Dialogue. General Harris. We need Ghost 1. Evelyn. I thought you buried Ghost 1. General. We tried. Suspense ending. She didn't ask for details. She simply replied, I'll be airborne in 30 minutes. Scene 6: The enemy RETURNS. Narration. Back over the Atlantic, the mysterious aircraft finally became visible. Only briefly. Long enough for military satellites to capture one blurred image. Analysts enlarged the picture. No American markings. No Allied markings. An unfamiliar stealth design. The room became silent. One intelligence officer finally spoke. "We've never seen this aircraft before." Another replied quietly, "No, we've seen its design philosophy. Only once." Technical explanation. Foreign prototype aircraft are often evaluated through satellite imagery. Radar signatures, infrared emissions, and electronic intelligence. Even tiny design similarities can reveal an aircraft's origin. This one matched fragments of data collected years earlier during a canceled intelligence operation. Suspense ending. As the unidentified aircraft turned toward the heart of American airspace, a hangar door slowly opened hundreds of miles away. Inside, a jet covered by black canvas waited in silence. And for the first time in 12 years, Ghost One walked toward it. Scene 7, the hangar that never existed. Narration. The desert was silent. Far from cities. Far from highways. Far from satellites that ordinary people could access. An enormous blast-proof hangar slowly opened beneath a mountain. Dust drifted through the morning sunlight as hydraulic doors groaned for the first time in over a decade. Inside rested a single aircraft. It carried no Air Force insignia, no serial number, no national flag, only one faded emblem beneath the cockpit. Ghost One. Technicians stopped what they were doing. Some of them had waited 12 years for this moment. Others had never believed the aircraft was real. As Evelyn Carter stepped into the hangar, every engineer stood at attention. No orders had been given. Respect alone was enough. The aircraft looked unlike any operational fighter. Its wings blended smoothly into the fuselage. Its exhaust nozzles were hidden deep inside the airframe. Every edge had been designed to disappear from radar. It wasn't simply built to fly. It had been built to remain unseen. Yet it had never entered active service. The government had locked it away, along with the pilot who knew how to fly it. Today, both were returning. Pilot dialogue. Chief Engineer. "Welcome back, Captain." Evelyn smiles slightly. "I thought you dismantled her." The engineer gently pats the aircraft. "We couldn't. Nobody else could fly her." ATC dialogue. NORAD command. Ghost Base confirm readiness. Ghost Base controller. Aircraft is operational. Pilot has arrived. Technical explanation. Experimental aircraft often require specially trained pilots. Unique flight control software, unstable aerodynamic designs, and classified avionics mean another experienced pilot cannot simply step in. In this fictional story, Ghost One is the only person fully qualified to operate the prototype. Suspense ending. Then, a mechanic quietly removed the protective cover from the cockpit. Inside, a helmet waited exactly where Evelyn had left it 12 years ago. Scene 8, the briefing. Narration. Inside a secure operations room. Massive digital maps filled every wall. Satellite images rotated continuously. Electronic intelligence streamed across dozens of displays. General Harris wasted no time. The intruder has crossed 3 restricted sectors. It never answers radio calls. It disappears from radar every 90 seconds. Evelyn studied the flight path. She didn't speak. She simply walked closer, then pointed toward an empty section of the map. Everyone looked confused. The aircraft had never appeared there. Evelyn quietly said, "That's where it's going." The room fell silent. The projected route wasn't toward a military base. It was heading toward something far more dangerous. A classified orbital communications facility. Only a handful of people even knew it existed. Pilot dialogue. General Harris. How do you know? Evelyn. Because I'd fly the exact same route. Technical explanation. Military planners don't just analyze where an aircraft is. They predict where it will be based on speed, altitude, fuel, terrain, and likely mission objectives. Experienced test pilots often think like the opposing pilot. Suspense ending. The estimated intercept window had already shrunk to 15 minutes. Scene 9 startup. Narration. Ground crews removed wheel chocks. Power carts disconnected. The cockpit came alive. Displays illuminated one by one. The aircraft seemed to awaken after years of silence. Evelyn adjusted her oxygen mask. Her hands moved confidently across dozens of switches. Nothing had been forgotten. Every procedure returned like instinct. Outside, the engines remained almost silent. Instead of a violent roar, only a deep mechanical hum echoed across the hangar. Technicians exchanged nervous glances. Everything was working. Pilot dialogue. Ghost base. Ghost 1 systems check. Evelyn. Hydraulics green. Navigation green. Flight controls green. Mission systems online. Ghost base. You're cleared to taxi. ATC dialogue. Ghost base controller. Runway 27 active. Winds calm. No traffic. Technical explanation. Before every flight, pilots verify critical systems including hydraulics, electrical power, navigation, communication, engine performance, and flight controls. Skipping even one step can have serious consequences. Suspense ending. As the aircraft rolled toward the runway, NORAD received another alarming update. The unknown aircraft had accelerated again. Scene 10 Afterburner. Narration. The runway stretched into the desert horizon. Ghost 1 lined up perfectly. She paused for only a second. The throttle moved forward. The engines answered instantly. The aircraft surged ahead with breathtaking acceleration. Dust exploded behind it. Within seconds, the nose lifted. Landing gear folded away. Ghost 1 climbed almost vertically into the morning sky. Engineers below watched silently. Many realized they would never witness another launch like this. Pilot dialogue. Ghost 1. Airborne. Ghost base. Good hunting. ATC dialogue. NORAD. Ghost 1, proceed direct intercept. Target now 160 miles east. Technical explanation. High-performance interceptors are designed to reach operational altitude extremely quickly, allowing them to respond rapidly to airborne threats. Suspense ending. Then, every radar screen suddenly went blank. The unknown aircraft had disappeared again. Scene 11, the chase begins. Narration. At 45,000 feet, Ghost 1 entered thin, crystal-clear air. The horizon curved gently beneath her. Civilian airliners appeared far below like tiny silver dots. Yet the aircraft she hunted remained invisible. Her radar showed nothing. Infrared sensors showed nothing. Electronic surveillance detected only silence. Then, a faint reflection flashed across her canopy. Not ahead. Above. She instinctively pulled back on the control stick. A dark triangular aircraft crossed overhead without a sound. It had been watching her first. Pilot dialogue. Ghost 1. Control visual contact. It's above me. NORAD. Confirm. Ghost 1. Confirmed. It's playing with us. Technical explanation. In aerial combat, Altitude provides a tactical advantage. A higher aircraft can convert altitude into speed, allowing greater maneuverability during an engagement. Suspense ending. The unknown pilot rolled inverted and disappeared into the sunlight. Scene 12, first contact. Narration. For several long seconds, neither aircraft fired, neither transmitted. They simply circled one another high above the clouds. Two shadows, two invisible machines, each testing the other's reactions. Evelyn noticed something unusual. The opposing aircraft wasn't behaving aggressively. Instead, it seemed to be evaluating her, almost recognizing her. Then her encrypted radio crackled. Static. Silence. Finally, a calm voice spoke. Not American. Not Russian. Not Chinese. Just 6 chilling words. We wondered if you'd return. Every muscle in Evelyn's body froze. Whoever sat inside that aircraft knew exactly who Ghost One was. And somehow, they had expected her. Pilot dialogue. Ghost One. Identify yourself. Unknown pilot. You already know. Ghost One. No, I don't. Unknown pilot. You will. The transmission ended. Scene 19, the final decision. Narration. At 58,000 feet, the two stealth aircraft streaked across the morning sky faster than the speed of sound. Inside NORAD, every radar operator watched in complete silence. No one spoke. No one even moved. Ghost One had only seconds to decide. If she fired first, the unknown aircraft would almost certainly be destroyed. But if she hesitated, it could reach the classified orbital communications facility that coordinated military satellites across North America. General Harris' voice came over the encrypted radio. Ghost One, you are authorized to engage. Evelyn's thumb rested on the weapon's release switch. She looked through the canopy. The enemy pilot wasn't maneuvering to attack. Instead, the aircraft slowed. That made no tactical sense. Something was wrong. Pilot dialogue. General Harris. Ghost One, engage now. Ghost One. Negative. I need 10 more seconds. General Harris. You don't have 10 seconds. Technical explanation. Modern fighter pilots are trained to identify hostile intent before using force whenever possible. In this fictional story, Ghost One notices that the opposing aircraft's behavior doesn't match an attack profile, prompting her to delay engagement. Suspense ending. Then, the unknown aircraft transmitted one final encrypted message. Follow me. Scene 20, the hidden threat. Narration. Instead of flying toward the communications facility, the stealth jet suddenly climbed almost straight upward. Ghost One followed. Her displays lit up with new sensor contacts. Not one, not two, but 6 tiny radar returns. Objects drifting silently above the atmosphere. Hidden until now. Unknown satellites. Their trajectories placed them directly over strategic military infrastructure. The mysterious aircraft hadn't come to attack America. It had come to expose something hidden in orbit. The command center erupted into confusion. Analysts rushed to compare the data. Within moments, confirmation arrived. The objects were real. They had remained undetected for years. Pilot dialogue. Ghost One. Control, do you see them now? NORAD. He confirmed. Oh my God. There are 6. Technical explanation. Space surveillance networks continuously track thousands of objects in orbit. In this fictional story, newly detected unidentified satellites reveal why the intruding aircraft entered restricted airspace. Suspense ending. Then, every satellite activated simultaneously. Scene 21, The Sacrifice. Narration. Warning alarms filled Ghost One's cockpit. The unidentified satellites began transmitting powerful electronic signals. Communications across multiple military frequencies flickered. Navigation systems became unstable. The enemy pilot spoke one last time. "They're targeting both of us." Without hesitation, the two aircraft accelerated together. Former enemies, now flying as one team. Ghost One redirected her aircraft between the satellites and the communications facility, using specialized electronic countermeasures developed during the classified Ghost program. The prototype systems overloaded. Cockpit temperatures climbed. Warning lights flashed across every display. Engine power began to fade. She knew exactly what it meant. The aircraft could save the network, but it would never fly again. Pilot dialogue. Ghost One. Mission first. General Harris. Evelyn, break away. Ghost One. If I do, everyone loses. Technical explanation. Electronic countermeasure systems are designed to interfere with hostile sensors and communications. In this fictional scenario, Ghost One pushes the prototype far beyond its safe operating limits to disrupt the threat. Suspense ending. The cockpit went dark. For 3 terrifying seconds. Radar lost Ghost One completely. Scene 22, The Landing. Narration. Far below, emergency crews lined the runway. No one knew whether Ghost One was still alive. Then, a faint radar return appeared. The damaged prototype emerged through the clouds. Its engines barely produced enough thrust to remain airborne. Hydraulic pressure was nearly gone. Flight controls responded sluggishly. Every landing would have to be perfect. There would be no second attempt. The aircraft crossed the runway threshold. Touched down hard. Its landing gear held. A parachute deployed. Sparks showered behind the aircraft as it rolled to a stop. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the canopy opened. Evelyn climbed out. Exhausted. Covered in smoke. But alive. The entire rescue team erupted into applause. Pilot dialogue. Tower. Ghost One, welcome home. Ghost One. Good to be back. Technical explanation. A damaged aircraft with degraded hydraulics and limited control authority requires exceptional precision during landing. Small errors can quickly become catastrophic. Suspense ending. As firefighters secured the aircraft, military police surrounded the runway. Not to arrest her, to escort her. The investigation had already begun. Scene 23, The Investigation. Narration. Over the next several weeks, engineers downloaded every byte of recorded flight data. Radar tapes, satellite imagery, electronic intelligence, cockpit recordings. The mysterious aircraft had vanished before anyone could identify its origin. But the evidence it revealed remained undeniable. The hidden orbital objects had been real. Their signals had been recorded independently by multiple systems. The investigation also uncovered another secret. 12 years earlier, the Ghost program had not been canceled because it failed. It had been hidden because its technology was considered too advanced and too sensitive to risk falling into enemy hands. Evelyn Carter had never been forgotten. She had been protected. Black box analysis. The prototype's flight recorder showed severe electronic interference during the final engagement. Successful deployment of experimental countermeasures. Structural damage caused by extreme maneuvering. A controlled emergency landing, despite multiple system failures. Investigators concluded that Ghost One's decisions prevented a far greater crisis. Scene 24, the final truth. Narration. Months later, the classified Ghost program was quietly acknowledged within military aviation circles. Most of its details remained secret. But one decision changed forever. Captain Evelyn Carter's service record was restored. Her medals were returned. Her name appeared once again in official archives. Not because she asked for recognition, because history demanded accuracy. The mysterious stealth aircraft was never seen again. Whether it had been an adversary, an ally with hidden motives, or something else entirely remained unanswered. Some mysteries stayed classified. Others simply disappeared into the sky. Ending. In the years that followed, Ghost One never sought interviews or fame. She returned to a quiet life, content knowing that the mission, not the recognition, had mattered most. The prototype aircraft was retired to a secure hangar, its existence known only to a small circle of engineers and historians. For those who served with her, one lesson endured. The greatest heroes are not always the most celebrated. Sometimes, they are the ones whose stories remain untold until the moment the world needs them. Aviation lessons. Although this story is fictional, it reflects real principles of aviation professionalism. Calm decision-making is critical under pressure. Pilots rely on teamwork with controllers, engineers, and mission planners. Situational awareness can be as important as advanced technology. Training and discipline often determine the outcome of an emergency more than the aircraft itself. The best pilots don't simply react. They observe, analyze, and make measured decisions. Outro. As the sun set behind the mountains, the hangar doors slowly closed one final time. Inside rested the silent aircraft that had once protected an entire nation. Outside, the sky looked peaceful again. No alarms, no interceptors, no headlines revealing what had happened. Only a fading contrail stretching across the horizon. A quiet reminder that some missions are never meant to be remembered, until the day they become impossible to forget. Fade to black.